Well, hello, welcome back to another episode of 0 to 60. I'm in the driveway of my temporary home, but you might notice I'm in my 92. It's back. Now, I actually picked it up 2 nights ago, I think. We're getting a bit of glare on the camera. I picked it up 2 nights ago, and the drive back was interesting because it still had the twin turbo tune on it. Let me play a little clip of that. Yeah, so we're in limp mode, but man, the thing sounds pretty wild. It's quite raspy with this exhaust, but for now, I think I'm going to leave with it. I did get it up onto the highway at 100 kilometers an hour, and there was no drone. That was my main concern with a exhaust. Anyway, I got the updated map from Ken for the single turbo. So this thing is going to be tuned by Wedge. He sent me through the map for the single turbo and also the map for the reflex, which I now have, which I didn't have yesterday. However, the point of this video is I learned something. I've learned about corrupt flashes with MHD. I nearly forgot how to word it then, but basically I flashed this car with the map yesterday, and you'll run it for a few seconds and you'll hear the fan go nuts, and then it enters a fault mode, and when you're logging, the high pressure fuel pump actually drops off as well. So to film all of these symptoms, to try and hopefully help somebody else that might get this, because I'd never heard of it doing it before, we will go, I'm just going to connect to MHD, which we now have, and we'll go monitor. It should contact the DME. Okay, so all I've got there is 0 to 60 chat. We've basically got low pressure fuel pressure, which is at 71 right now. We have the rail pressure, which is the pressure in the fuel rail. I've got the ethanol content voltage. I was just playing with that, making sure that the reflex is actually passing on the ethanol value, and then we got boost. So let me start it up and you'll see what happens. In fact, I'm going to move it straight away. So it still runs. Go to reverse. So we haven't got the error yet. Yes we have. Engine warning lights on. And I need to get it in the garage because we're going to be doing some charging, and I want to make sure that it... oh, limp mode's painful. Alright, we're in. We are in the garage. And it's still on cold start, so it hasn't actually done it yet. There it is, engine fault. And rail pressure's dropped. And with my dual mass flywheel, which is really loud in here, it might be hard to hear. But can we hear the fan going off? Yes, you can. All right, let's shut up. You can hear the fan. So it was new to me. I'd never heard of a flash not working properly, but basically I did a normal MHD flash. It completed, it was a full flash, and there was no errors shown. The only thing that I noticed was when I actually leave it running for a few seconds, it was about 20 seconds then, it gets that fault code and the fan goes nuts. Spoke to Ken from Wedge because he just knows everything about these things, and he said, it's a corrupt flash. Now this happens when you go and write to the DME, it does some sort of early preset part of the memory. I've worded this all wrong, sorry for messing it up, Ken, but the first section of a write that MHD does, it resets an early part of the memory, and if it doesn't do that, or if that doesn't complete properly, it'll write the new tune but then not reset another part of the log. So if you flash your car with MHD and you get that fan going nuts and you get an error code, you basically need to flash back to stock, which is what we're going to try and do, and then flash again. So let's see if we can fix this. Okay, so I have the car on charge, and I've got to be honest, I've never flashed a car back to factory before. So let's see what we can work it out. We've got MHD, should still be connected. Stock stage 0 stock map remains. Let's see if it'll do that. Now, something that I haven't actually spoken about on camera, when I was flashing Dave's 135 with the 8HP 45 swap back to a flex map, I had continual issues with the iPhones and the MHD dongle, to the point where I could never actually get it to do. Spent 8 hours, eventually flashed the car with WinKFP, then went and borrowed an Android phone, and I've just realised I haven't got the car on. Oh my god, talking to the camera is dangerous. This is how you brick your DME, everyone. Car is now on. Ended up getting an Android phone and MHD flash straight away. So if you're having issues with iPhones and MHD flash failing, properly failing, see if you can get your hands on an Android. It certainly helped me with that car. However, have I broken it by not having the car on? Flashing stopped. Okay. Let's try again. Oh my god, that car's starting up next door. I thought it was the car. Right, communicating with DME, connected, flashing the ECU. Right, I'm going to let this go through and do a full stage 0 flash. And we'll see if it fixes this corruption issue. Hey, I got CIC as well. Alright, that has just finished the standard flash. It should do some error code clearing. And some resets. Restarting DME to normal operation. But again, I think that was under 10 minutes. Yeah, right time, 9 minutes 30. Maybe that's just how long it takes. I'm going to turn the thing off and we'll flash the custom wedge tune for the flex fuel. Okay, I'm just going to delete that error code. How is my fuel consumption? 20 litres per 100. Alright, let's just check these options quickly. I do want a raised RPM. Yeah, it saved the options from yesterday. Port injection, yeah, I think we're all good. Right, long right. Let's go. From what I understand from what Ken was saying, the error with the fan going on is caused during this point where it erases section 1. Let's just make sure that goes through okay. Ignition's not on. Oh my god, I've done it again. Oh no, it's just flashing. Oh my god. I'm on a roll. The ignition is on. Yeah, 8 minutes to go. So yeah, it's flashing in under 10 minutes. Interesting. Flashing stopped. So this was the issue I was having with Dave's 135. All right. Let me try it again. I'll turn everything off, turn it back on, we'll try it again, and we'll see how we go. All right, so the only thing I've changed now, I've got the phone in airplane mode, and you can see it's now preparing the DME. I've always used this phone to flash this car. I use my other phone to flash the Flomax and O'Reilly. Actually, never flashed O'Reilly. But yeah, it's something's happened recently. Flashing cars with my iPhones is a problem. And when I was going through it on Dave's car, I tried both iPhones, both MHD dongles, and we just kept getting weird errors. Don't know why, but I think that is unrelated to the issue that we had at the start of this video. Anyway, I got 14 minutes to prepare the DME. Let's just see what it does. Well, that has failed, so I love cars. Bugger. Yeah, this is basically what we were going through with Dave's. Both of my iPhones, two MHD adapters, they just fail. I don't get it. The phone's in airplane mode. There is a battery charger on the car. A good battery charger. I don't know. Oof. I think it's actually worked. So this is the third time I've tried to flash today. When I was messing around with Dave's 135, erasing section 3. Okay, alright, it wasn't finished. It's doing some weird stuff. My understanding, MHD basically just flashes modified versions of the files that you flash with WinKFP, and it's really just working like WinKFP in regards to flashing sectors and writing UIFs and all that sort of stuff. However, it is set up to be way more user-friendly, and it doesn't really tell you what it's doing. I really wish I knew why it's been failing lately. If anybody else has worked out why iPhones will fail with the MHD Wi-Fi, please let us know. There's another guy in the 0 to 60 group chat, Matt, who is having the same problem. Every flash has taken him 2 or 3 goes, and he's also getting continual drops when he's logging as well, which is something I've been getting on the Flomax car for a while, although I haven't had any flash issues. Is it going to finish? I'm genuinely nervous. I think it's finished. I didn't intend for this video to be about this particular error with the iPhones, but more about when you get a corrupt flash to the DME. It's restarting the DME. Are we there? Clearing codes. All right. Let's give it 30 seconds. So yeah, as I mentioned, I really just wanted this to be about the fan going nuts. I'd never heard of the fan going nuts being an issue with a corrupt flash, but there we go. I've got 30 seconds to disconnect the battery charger, and we'll start it up and we'll see if the fan goes nuts again. All right, let's just see. Are we connected all right? It says it is, but we don't have... That was reading 70 PSI fuel pressure before. We'll see if it starts. this exhaust cracks into life. All right, let's see if we get any errors. Yeah. The fun never stops. We're not getting low pressure fuel pressure. Okay. Let's go back to... Let's go back to the CIC. What errors are we displaying? Anything in here? It's not going to be time and date. Let's read... Close. Let's read the actual errors from the DME. Man, I've seriously never had issues with MHD until everything went nuts and I needed to move out. Okay, so we now have no crank sensor signal. That'll explain why it doesn't start. We'll clear the error codes. We'll restart the car. I heard the fuel pump prime. We still have no fuel pressure though. I can't win. I'll let you know when I work it out. Okay, just a quick update. I flashed it again. It was like a 1 minute flash and the crank error signal was gone. However, we wouldn't get low fuel pressure. So like the low pressure fuel pump's not working still. I have now flashed it twice since then and it's failed a couple of times. It's just going through and doing this one. And I actually walked away to go to the loo and I've just come back and the low pressure fuel pump is screaming. Doesn't sound good, the low pressure fuel pump. I was going to unplug it, but the pump should be happy cranking away flat out, so I think I'll just leave it. But maybe the fuel pump's died and it's just a coincidence. Because this, I think, is a Chinese fuel pump, I think. Well, I can't really remember. One of them's Chinese, one's a Walbro. Anyway. I hope I don't need to do the fuel pump. Alright, coming to the end of the flash, but the fuel pump's still going nuts. Which is great. Hopefully the fuel pump turns off when it restarts. I hope. Okay, ignition off. Wait 30 seconds. Man, it's been a nightmare. I have now just got organised an Android phone. So that was 18 minutes to do the fourth write of the day. Yeah, if this is still problematic, I'm just going to flash with an Android. I'm starting to think the issue is just iPhones and MHD. Something's changed and they don't work properly anymore. You'd think more people would be talking about it. We'll see. Yeah, I'll be back to you shortly. All right. Let's go to MHD. And we're just going to go to the logging. Monitoring. Alright, so it's got heaps of low pressure fuel pressure, but it did before. Is it priming the low pressure fuel pressure? Yes, the fuel pressure's not really changing. Better take this battery power supply off. Okay. So fuel pressure is still at 70. Let's see if it starts. Okay, it starts well. I have got cold start noise reduction turned on. Fuel pressure's bouncing around a little bit, but she's not too bad. We got E60 in the tank. All right, let's see if it errors. It was taking about 10 to 20 seconds to throw an error before we started this filming, and then the fan would go nuts. I think we're good. No errors coming up in check control. I think we're good. Single turbo noises. I think we're good. Yeah, rail pressure's dropped and settled at around that 650. We're good. I'll turn it off before I get noise complaints. Yeah, okay, so this is not how I intended the video to go. I wanted to show you that you can have a completed flash in MHD and have issues with the tune, with the flash, like not completing properly, even though it shows that it has. And that is what Ken explained that my problem was this morning with the fan going nuts. However, you may have seen then that I've been flashing the same custom file all day. I've flashed it 5 or 6 times, and once we fixed the fan error, we then had an issue with it not recognizing the crank signal, and then an issue with it not doing the low pressure fuel pump. The low pressure fuel pump wasn't engaging. So this is kind of scary when you start trying to understand how these MSD Bosch ECUs work. Obviously, segments of the map are not getting written properly. And please comment below, let me know what you think it is. I think it's an issue with the iPhones. Matt, the 0 to 60 member, he's been having issues as well. And I started having issues with iPhone MHD logging in the Flowmax car around Christmas time. I haven't put a map on this since a long time. I haven't put a map on this car. Although I have been doing maps on the Flowmax car with no issues that I'm aware of anyway, but kind of scary. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Is it an issue with an iPhone update that's causing this to happen? Am I going crazy? But yeah, I changed nothing hardware wise, and we went from having a fan going nuts and then the car stalling, to a crank signal error, and then a low pressure fuel pump error, and all I did was just kept reflashing the DME. It's kind of wild, guys. That took nearly 4 hours to do what I thought would be half an hour. But hey, that's it. Yeah, and I think I might, just for safety's sake, get an Android and flash it again with an Android, just because I just don't know what's going on. It's a bit of a weird one. If I learn anything else before this video goes live, I will put it in the description. Anyway, this is a weird, crappy problem that I bet a few people are having. And on that note, I'm going to keep spruiking it because I need to get money to get a workshop. I have set up a Buy Me a Coffee. If you like the videos we do, if you find them helpful, you can contribute below and keep me being able to do this. This is a very temporary situation in my brother-in-law's garage. Although he's a bit of a BMW nut. You would have seen that car from the channel. And his F15's been on a lot. Anyway, yeah, I do need to get a workshop ASAP though, especially with these noisy cars. The neighbors are not going to be happy. All right, peace.